Hey there everyone! Do you think I've forgotten about you? No, I haven't. It's just I've been very busy this week. What have I been busy with? Well, if you've been following me on social media, you'll know I have been busy with this. This is the script to the play that I have gotten into for a local community theater run by a friend of mine. I even got the writer and the director to sign it. I'm probably going to get the rest of the cast to sign it later whenever I get everyone rounded up. But anyway, so as a result, I have been working pretty hard, and that's why the vlog didn't get up. That's why I say once a week, not a specific day of the week. That way I don't have to worry about that, because life gets hectic. It always gets hectic when you least expect it. But as long as you're having fun and not overly taxing yourself, it's a blast. So anyway, what do I want to talk about this week? Well, there was one story that I don't think could show up on Samcast because, bless Jacob, it's so controversial that his head would have steam coming out of its ears about how much he wouldn't want to touch this topic. But me, well, I can take the blame for it. So, what is the topic at hand? No, it's not Prism. Get Prism out of your head. Look, it wasn't a surprise anyway. Get over it. Anyway, the point is, there was a different story that, well, you guys know I'm a Christian. I don't hide it, and nor do I try to push it on anyone of anything. But a story did come on my radar that was quite interesting. Of course, recently the Man of Steel came out, and Warner Brothers came up with an interesting way of marketing it. They actually sent packets out to various church organizations and everything, and decided to, how do I put this lightly, make an analogy of Superman being Jesus. Now, already I hear fervent cries of, how dare they do that, you know, and I suppose you could take a sort of look at Superman and Jesus and draw some things, a person sending their son to save us, even if in Superman's case he causes, let's see, what was it, trillions of dollars of damage and thousands of lives in the process. If you look at the body count of Man of Steel, there was some group that actually took the detail to calculate the amount of damage and the amount of lives that would have been lost in that final battle. Anyone that's seen it, I haven't even seen it, but I know about the final battle, and I won't spoil anything because I don't know myself. But it's a very damaging battle that happens in New York. Some people didn't like that. Anyway, point is, so they send these packets, and these packets even have suggestions of Jesus, the first superhero, you know, which, to be honest, I would give a pastor props if they came up with this on their own, because then that would show some creativity. But I don't think that most pastors that I come across, at least I hope not, take things from a book and then do them. I thought the whole process was that, or at least I've done a couple, so I know this. You study, you get that divine intervention if you happen to believe in that, and then you let it flow through you. So in other words, if you talk about something, it's not you have an impulse, you know, I'll talk about that. It's, I'm supposed to be talking about this. Not that a company sent me a packet and said, you know what, let's promote our movie, which I understand why. I mean, if you look historically at movies, and since I'm a member of a movie draft, you guys know that if you listen to Samcast, you know I pay attention to things like this. Christian audiences are one of those big audiences. If you can appeal to geeks, Christians, and several other little bodies of people like animal lovers, you're always going to get them with an animal movie, things like that. But if you get to the Christian audience, then usually they will take whole congregations and whole churches and youth groups and stuff to things like this. And as a result, you make a lot of money, because I can assure you that's where this is coming down to. It's not about, oh, let's spread a message or anything like that. It comes down to what, as the Sixth Doctor would call, filthy lucre. I think other people call that, but I'm such a Doctor Who nerd, I automatically think of that person saying it. Anyway, point is, what is Warner Brothers thinking? This is either one of the most brilliant marketing ploys, or it's the dumbest marketing ploy I've ever heard of, and I still can't think which it happens to be. Maybe it's my actor-muddled brain, where I've been practicing using a genuine Southern accent all week, which, yeah, I do that. But the point is, I just can't really come up with it, which, to give you guys some context, if I look over at my laptop here, it is 10:27 at night as I record this, so normally I'd be in bed. Maybe I need to go to bed. Anyway, the point is I'm baffled by this, and I don't quite know why Warner Brothers is doing it. But either way, it brings it down to this. Marketing is all about money and getting it any way possible. So if you can make a correlation between Jesus and Superman and think we're going to drive the congregations into our movie, then that's really what this whole story is about. And I can draw biblical comparisons from about any pop culture you can throw at me. Star Wars is fairly obvious, the whole Luke, I am your father, redeemed, stuff like that. Or even the kids in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory representing each of the 7 deadly sins, and each of them in kind paying for said sin. You know, you can just draw all of these little lines. Eventually you'll have a big yarn thing on the wall, you know, like the FBI procedurals where they have this one pen and all these little bits of yarn going off of it that say it's this, and this is all those connections. If I were to do that with movies, you would not be able to walk through the studio. There would be so much yarn everywhere. But you can always draw comparisons everywhere. But in this case, I think Warner Brothers might be stretching it a bit. And, oh well, anything for money, I guess, but it doesn't really offend me that much as make me go, what the heck are you doing to Warner Brothers? Really? Anyway, that was my thoughts on it, and that's the topic I wanted to vlog about. Next week I may vlog about the process of doing the theater thing itself, although I think I only have one practice next week if I'm not mistaken, so anyway, I'll get around to that at some point. You guys will get to see where I'm doing the acting and everything, at least at some point. But if you guys want to find all the other vlogs that I'm up to, you can go to tscn.tv/vlog and you'll be able to find them all there. And until next week, just carry on with your lives and don't die in a fire. There, I'll try that one on for size. See you guys. This has been a production of the Samcast Network. tscn.tv. What's your passion?